assetsonline.com. I'm going off today. I'm not going to lie. Mike, I've been all over Twitter. I'm about to make a Twitter, but there is so much buzz around this Google helpful content update that I just couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself to make this presentation because I really feel like what's going on right now reinforces what we've been saying for years. Basically, since we created this channel, you can go back to our first video. You can look at drop shipping versus affiliate marketing. You can look at all the things that we've talked about over the years. And it's just getting more and more true as time goes on. So we're going to go into it. I'm going to tell you why, if you are running a niche site or blogging and you don't have like 10 years of SEO experience under your belt and a huge budget, you need to quit right now. That's all I'm saying. What are your thoughts, Mike?
Well, I have a singular thought, but I guess for the people that are listening, what do we mean by a niche site? Because we have sites that are in particular niches. I don't know what you're doing down there.
I'm peeling this cantaloupe. Oh, honeydew.
By niche site, you're referring to a website that is getting strictly organic traffic. Yes. And monetizing it in some sort of way with maybe affiliate marketing or ads, something of that nature.
Yes, you're getting strictly organic traffic. You're doing content like, I don't know, best blender for RV. You have an RV info site about, what kind of RV should I buy. You have a kitchen affiliate site about, I don't know, best panini press for large paninis, and then you got some, I don't know, what does a panini taste like? You got panini versus grilled cheese. You got all this garbage on there. That there was a time, and I will say this, there was a time maybe like 4 or 5 years ago when the info content landscape was very, very, very underserved, and it was ripe to make a lot of info content and make affiliate content, et cetera, et cetera. That time is over. Even then, it wasn't that great for most people, but that time is over. In the age of AI and the age of these helpful content updates, you cannot be making those kind of sites unless you have a huge budget and you have a lot of SEO experience. And we're going to get into why in this presentation, and we're going to give you some alternatives. And the fact that let me just skip ahead here, Mike, because I want to actually say that, as stupid as this sounds, we have those kind of sites. This is our media. Yeah. This is my Mediavine, our whatever. I say mine because I'm the only one that looks at it. For the last 30 days, across all of our sites, almost 2,000 sessions, 27K.
2 million.
2 million sessions, 27K in ad revenue.
Yeah, so it's not that we haven't made a significant amount of money through this method. I mean, people would, give up their firstborn to be doing this through affiliate. And Joe, you asked me what my thoughts were. This is my one thought, and we'll see if you get to this in the presentation because I haven't looked at it. My one thought is, if you cannot profitably run paid traffic to a business, you're not running a business.
Yeah, well, I agree with that thought. I agree that you have to have a paid strategy first and an organic strategy second. That's what I would say.
Yes, if the business cannot run profitably with paid traffic, then it is not a worthwhile business.
Right.
You're basically running a lemonade stand.
Exactly. So almost 30K in Mediavine past 30 days, almost 10K in ClickBank past 30 days, almost 1,000 in Amazon, probably well over 1,000 if you look at the international market. So, I mean, what are we looking at? Over 40K in revenue the past 30 days from our niche sites, our blogs. And we did take a little bit of a hit. This was one of the sites this site, by the way, has 250K pieces of AI content. We were up to 53K sessions, 615 a day. We got a little haircut. Now we're down to around 315 per day and around 30K sessions. But you know what the thing is with this? I've stopped caring about the content a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this is where a lot of people have gone wrong. And a lot of the SEO advice of pre 2021 was write the best content you can write, really put your heart and your soul into it. And people are coming to grips with the reality that that is bullshit. Google doesn't care about your heart. They don't care about your soul. They want your blood and they want the money of everyone.
Here's the
So
thing,
it's,
like, yeah, even if they want to, they say that what they want to do is give people helpful content. Say that that's what they want to do. Let's just assume that that's what they want to do. I'm sure that they want to do it. Um, they can't do it. A robot is not physically capable of being able to decide what's helpful to a human in the vast span of the World Wide Web as it exists today.
yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, you've been going crazy on Twitter. I sent you, well, I sent it in the Discord. There was a screenshot of this woman, how she had this travel blog and she had put, obviously many, many hours into writing each post. And it was such a helpful resource. And then her traffic went down 80%. Meanwhile, this friggin' AI bazooka website that we put together, 250,000 articles published on this website.
In the
Yeah,
past
it took a
couple
hit.
months.
It took a hit, but not a huge hit, not 80%. And so helpfulness as human beings is not necessarily how Google is defining it when they make their update, when they make their algorithms. And so, I mean, I think the point is trying to constantly be one step behind in this game where Google's setting what the rules are, and then people get hit, and then we have to now backtrack and try and do something else to make up for this lost ground. You're playing this game that is just purely an exploit of this algorithm. And yes, we make a lot of money doing it, but it just cannot be what you rely your business on.
And the truth is Mike, it can be a profitable game, but you have to be elite. Like, you have to be very, very good at it. That's the truth. So I want to take a look at this. This is our drop shipping store, and you can see this Ahrefs, all of the G's down there are the Google updates. Now, the content on this store, I would say, it's like, it's okay. I'm like, my definition of okay. It's okay. It's not as if we had, the best of the best experts in the world write it and make it the most helpful for the human race. But what's going on here is that this website, by the way, this website gets a ton of spammy links like that we can't even control every day. People copying the store, like scrapers, like just, crazy stuff. We got to report copyright stuff constantly.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. But the difference is that this is a real business. It has a phone number, it has an address, it has business profiles, and it has lots and lots of ad spend with Google and traffic coming from outside of organic. So, listen, what I will say is this. I can't prove to you that spending money on Google ads is a ranking factor. Many people will say it's not. Google will say it's not. Maybe it's like an indirect one. But I strongly believe that it's a very, very good signal to Google that you're a real business and they're going to take you more seriously out of the gate than a site that is not spending money.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting how this website has, knock on wood, not got hit with any updates thus far. It's just continued to go up. And yeah, you're right. I mean, number one, people will say, people say dropshipping isn't a real business. We can just move that aside. We can move that aside. But the reality is, yeah, Google sees, okay, we're paying to run traffic to the store. And we're obviously selling products. Google knows we're selling products. So how is Google going to interpret our store, which is clearly real? People are going on the website, they're making purchases. They're going to think our content is more quote unquote helpful than a friggin' Blender website that is just came out of nowhere, has a bunch of stupid articles linking to Amazon.
And it does rank for Amazon affiliate articles too.
That's true.
You know, I just made them as some supporting content, and it ranks. And it ranks. So listen, paid first, organic second, period. Okay. And if you
Yes.
are going to go all organic, you have to do it on a way where you don't care about it, because you're going to
Yes.
get your heart broken. And it's not
Exactly.
it's not a good recipe to up your bank account if you're new to this game.
Right. You need to be doing things that are going to be compounding on each other. If you haven't seen the videos where we talk about our online business criteria, the checklist that needs to happen before we go into a business, then go watch that. But when you have to constantly chase updates, you're getting hit, you have to bounce back. It's not something that's going to yield compounding results for you, because you put in all this effort, boom, you get knocked back. Put in more effort, boom, you get knocked back.
Yeah. So here's, Mike, I put together a list of problems with niche sites that no one talks about. Google doesn't care about your expertise and helpfulness, and it cannot detect it. Whatever, we talked about that. Number 2 is that the time to get paid from affiliate networks or ad vendors is far too long. We're talking net 60 to 90 days after any traffic comes. So you make a new website, it's going to take you 6 to 8 months to get traffic to it, maybe a year to get a significant amount of traffic. You're looking at 60 to 90 days beyond your earnings for you to get money into your bank account. I think it's important to get money into your bank account as soon as possible. When we made our first dropshipping store, before we made any of those niche or affiliate sites, we got our first sale in 2 weeks, and the money hit our bank account like the next day. So, and that's been keeping us, I mean, that's been keeping us going. Like that's the lifeblood of business.
Yeah, if we had to strictly rely on what you've done through SEO over the years, I don't know, we might be working jobs right now.
I'd be at McDonald's right now.
You're basically at McDonald's with whatever the hell you're eating. Quick side note here. Matt said, I think ads play a major role in that Google sees on-site behavior. When you pay for it and get traffic to your site and people like it, that has to help with SEO for sure to a certain extent. Without ads, you rely on your page's ranking to get any on-site behavior at all. Yeah. This is very true. And I wish we had some sort of insider info into how Google feels about paid ads and how it factors into organic rankings. We've talked about this, how, because like, even aside from what you just said, Matt, when someone clicks an ad, lands on your website, and then they go and then they search something again, because they visited your site is more likely to pop up in the results. So in my opinion, to me, that's a huge win, because now you're kind of getting a free bump in your organic rankings just because you paid for the ad. And then, you know, you're going to show up higher now. You're going to take up more of the SERP when somebody searches something again.
And Mike, looking at one of our sales that came in this morning, we had a sale over $3,000. The first page they landed on was a versus page that we made 3 or 4 years ago, comparing 2 products, and they bought that day. And
right,
this is a keyword that we would really one of the few people on the internet that are going to go for it, because we're not competing with all the Amazon affiliate marketers. So the ROI on that page is so much higher than any sort of other affiliate thing that you can create.
Right. And so the main point here is, if you're going to make any niche style site or niche type content, it has to be centered around a product that's going to pay you faster, hopefully pay you a high margin. And so really, for the majority of people that are, you know, online, trying to make money online, whatever, it's going to have to be high ticket dropshipping. What else can you do that's going to deliver fast payout, high margins, not having to take in inventory? Yeah.
So back to what you said before, you must have a paid traffic and organic strategy. These work together to send positive signals to Google that your site should rank in the SERPs. A business that has traffic from paid Google ads viewed as legit, you're a Google customer now. You're not a random Joe Schmo on the internet. And there are myths that I see floating around on Twitter in the SEO. Like I've just been observing what's been going on Twitter. I'm going to delete it from my phone probably the next couple days, but I like watching what's going on with this content update. I see these myths floating around. You should build an email list. This is probably one of the myths that I hate the most. I hate this because this is one of the most, I think, egregious lies out there in online marketing.
Yeah.
If you have a random niche site about kitchen appliances, and you know a lot of your pages are like how to properly cut a honeydew melon, you know, you got a page on this. You're gonna put an email opt in there. What is the value of someone that opts into that? Zero. Absolutely zero. Where if you have a high ticket dropshipping store and someone searches for an expensive luxury brand that you sell, that because they're interested in buying it,
luxury melon cutter,
say like a commercial industrial table for bulk slicing melons, you know, what they opt in for a coupon, they are much more valuable than some random schmo that opts into your free ebook on your email list. I would say the value of just a person on the email list from a niche site, 95% of the time isn't worth their cost in the email subscription platform.
Yeah. Really, it has to either be some sort of digital product or it has to be a high ticket dropshipping product. And the majority of time, digital product is going to be very difficult because it requires too many variables. You have to know what the audience wants. You have to deliver something that's well made. You have to make it. It has to be a good price point. You have to basically build the brand. High ticket dropshipping, these brands already exist. They're already validated because these people are bringing them from overseas, stocking them, and doing it over and over again for years. So that proves they already know what kind of products people want. They're designed that way. They're priced so that people in the US buy them. And you don't have to build any sort of branding around it. People are already looking for the particular brand. So it cuts through so much of these variables you need to account for and say, oh, you know, this didn't work because I didn't, you know, my product was too expensive or I made it to this audience instead of this audience. You don't have to worry about any of that. And I really think the only drawback for people like the SEO crowd to getting this point is I think the SEO crowd is scared of having to answer the phone and do live chats and sort of handle the sales and support side of monetizing their traffic like this.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to lie. It is good to log into your Mediavine account and see from the previous day that you have, you know, all this money from ad revenue. It's a very, I would say, dopamine enforcing feeling. That's for sure.
Oh, it's great. It's great. I mean, it's like Kindle. It's like when we were doing Kindle publishing and yeah, there's no customer support. There's nothing. I would be at work.
Yeah.
When I had a job, I had my work computer. You know what was on the work computer? My friggin' Kindle dashboard. Just you earned $100 today. Refresh. You earned $105 today. Refresh. You earned $130 today. That's all I was doing for 8 hours.
These affiliate niche site owners, they don't know anything about what Kindle was like back in the day. That's like,
yeah. Imagine just that's like the rat in the laboratory type dopamine experiment. You sit a friggin' Zoomer in a gaming chair like this, and you just have them refresh a screen that just shows the money in their bank account going up and up, and that's what you study. That's the PhD dissertation right there. But you have to decide between, do you want that? Because that comes at the risk of, I mean, what happened to us on Kindle, what happened to the Google updates, that can be taken away from you. Versus the dropshipping stuff, it's more stable. Yes, there's work when you make sales, potentially. Not that you can't outsource it, but there is a sales side component. But the sales side component makes your earnings a lot more reliable and a lot more stable and harder for any particular company to take them away from you.
Yeah. And I want to kind of skip around here for a second. I want to talk about, so you should build your brand is another myth that I see being propagated for a niche site or an affiliate site. Let me tell you how to build your brand. Okay. You have a high ticket, you have a high ticket dropshipping store that's getting a lot of traffic from Google ads. Now, people bookmark the products, they come back to buy them later. What do they do when they come back to buy the products later, your products later? They go to Google, they type in the store name, they type in Joe Schmo's Melon Shop watermelon cutter because they were on the site before and they want to come back later to buy because they're looking at it on their phone. That is never going to happen for an affiliate site or a blog. But for a high ticket dropshipping site, that happens naturally without you even trying, as long as you follow our directions for picking a domain. And so this is actually a very, very important ranking factor. I will say this out of the gate, and that is why I don't want to get too far into the weeds here. This is a little hack I think you can take advantage of if you use EMDs properly, exact match domains properly. You can kind of fake the branded search. That's what's going on with this here. But, how do you build your brand? How do you get people to search your brand in Google? You sell products on your website that people look at on their phone. They're checking out at work. They come home, they go back to their computer, they search your website and they want to buy it. So another myth I want to talk about, this isn't so much, I guess it kind of is. People talk about their conversion rate for their opt-in, for their email list. I increased my opt-ins for my email list by 20%, and I changed the thing. Who cares about your conversion rate? I want to show you this screenshot here. This is year to date of our dropshipping store. 4.42 million in sales, up from last year. You can see the comparison here. Wow. Our conversion rate is down in the toilet. Our conversion rate is in the toilet. But who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, a conversion rate is so highly dependent on the page that they're on. So
and the intent, yeah.
And the intent, exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean, to flip back to was this it? No. Where was it, Joey?
What were you looking at?
Here. How can you maintain conversion rate when you're doing this?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Joe, when we had our first store, our conversion rate on that first store some days would be like 5%.
Yeah.
If we got 5% conversion rate on this store, this one that you just showed, we'd be friggin' rich. I wouldn't be making videos like this anymore. It's just impossible as you go up the buyer funnel. Because there's just only so many branded keywords and stuff like that you can show up for at a certain traffic level. Yeah. Like your traffic is going to increase for things that have varying levels of buying intent. But the point is that if you're not paying for the traffic and you can make $1,000 plus off of a sale, who cares if it, oh my God, I'm freaking looking at your screen and you're scraping melons.
I'm peeling. I got to get the seeds out of this thing.
I completely lost my train of thought. There's going to be different conversion rates for different things. And so it doesn't matter if it takes 1 in 1,000 visitors to make a sale if we're not paying for the traffic and we make $1,000 profit on the, that sale. So all of a sudden the time and energy to get to this, which with AI content now isn't that much, it becomes worth it. And you can just make a bunch of these pages. And yeah, I mean, it's going to result in a dip in conversion rate. We should make a Twitter post. We dropped our conversion rate 36%.
But increased our sales.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because look, sessions up 55%, conversion rate down, total sales up. This is what these friggin' SEO incels don't get. Who cares about the conversion rates? I'm concerned about the sales. I'm concerned about the profits. And so that's it.
Yeah. So I saw a Twitter post that was like, if you have authors on like your About Us page and you Google those authors and nothing comes up, then like you should be like Like that's like a main concern for you. Because it shows Google doesn't view your site as like authority, like it doesn't view the authors as anything. Come on, man. Come on.
What?
These pages that rank for us, they don't even have authors on them. Some of them do, because I just moved over to like the blog section versus the pages. But you know, most of our pages that rank don't have an author on them. And I'm not saying I shouldn't add one, but I'm just saying like everything on Twitter is just such a waste of like energy. It's
Could it be because they view our site as the author, and our site, you know, if you Google the website, that not comes up with stuff. Could it be something like that?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. All I know is you got to have a paid traffic strategy first. You got to pair your SEO efforts with the right business model. You cannot be investing tons of time and money, especially, you know, money is one thing. Time is really the other thing. If you're going to be investing time in a website, that's true, Joshy, but not on the site that we're talking about here. But yeah. Oh yeah, but that's true. He is an author on one thing, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's not the site I'm talking about. I don't know. That's all I got to say on this. I'm
Joey Melons out.
I don't know if this came out the way I envisioned it in my head. I feel like I rambled a lot, but yeah.
I think this came out great.
I want to talk about the niche site and blogging world and the vanity metrics that surround it. So when I listen to like SEO talks, SEO interviews, whatever, videos, you're so often hit in the face with these terms that elicit like some sort of dopamine hit, but don't necessarily result in your bank account balance getting higher. Traffic boner, hockey stick growth, high rankings. Like, yeah, that stuff is nice. Like, it's good to and believe me, I check the rankings of stuff every day and it's a waste of time. But recognizing that it doesn't mean anything is very, very important.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, again, this can all be taken away from you. Somebody give Joe the Heimlich.
Oh my God.
What are we doing, man? This is why the SEO authority people don't take us seriously, man. You're here eating melons, saying the traffic boner is bullshit, saying, you know, they shouldn't be doing all these things. And this, you know, we got to be wearing suits. We got to step our game up if we want the SEO crowd to take us seriously. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because, you know, we're taking it easy. Eating melons. Winter is coming. The melons are out of season, and that's why you're choking.
Listen, we have a global economy, buddy. I can get melons any time of the year.
They're too fibrous.
No, they're actually. Actually, they were better a couple of weeks ago, but yeah.
All right, so are we at the end? Okay, let's get to some questions here. Boy, MJ. So are the niche sites for you just hobbies to help you understand Google Ads and increase your knowledge of SEO?
Well, I think the way it started is not really the way it is today. It started where, I don't know, it was like an attempt to learn SEO, and then you put in more time into them. You waste a little bit of time. The main goal was always to apply them to drop shipping, which we did. But I would say at this time, yeah, it's a lot of it's like testing hobbies, you know, not like just, I would say mainly testing grounds to be profitable and understand like the current state of SEO. Like if we didn't have them, I couldn't make 250K AI content articles and, you know, see what happens.
Yeah, it definitely serves research and development purpose. I mean, because if you look at, we wouldn't have been able to get this type of growth we got on our dropshipping store, like this many sessions, etc., without doing strictly SEO stuff on the side. But I mean, you saw in the beginning of the presentation, like it makes us a lot of money. But again, to rely on that as income, if you really want to be building, your own little private investment portfolio and be able to actually live your life and not be worried about a friggin' update, it's like you need to branch out how you're monetizing these things.
The problem is
that's really the whole point.
You always have to put in more money to get more money out for these kinds of sites. That's the problem. Even with the AI content. So, before I started blasting that, we probably had like 10K a month from Mediavine. I basically reinvested that 10K for a couple months between VAs and AI credits and, blah, 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 to get it to this point. And now Mediavine probably owes us like 60, 70K or something. So, which I won't see, that is going to be dripping in over the next couple of months. And I know that investment will have a positive ROI over the next, while. But I'm just saying, you always have to invest more money to hopefully get more money out in the far future. Whereas, you scale your dropshipping store, the money comes in like right away as you make the sales. So,
right, like increasing your ad spend from $2,000 a month to $4,000 a month would have that immediate return on sales to some degree. Like maybe it'll get higher over time, but yeah, there should be some sort of immediate ROI or quicker ROI rather than taking 10K that you earn from Mediavine, investing that in more content. The content has to rank, and then that content's going to make ad revenue, and then it's going to take 60 to 90 days for that ad revenue to even get paid out into your bank account. So the lag time there is pretty high, and you're racing against these updates. So you never know if the investment is going to be fruitful or not, like theoretically. So
not to mention, we've had companies in the past like Ezoic claw back our ad earnings.
Oh yeah.
So
AdSense,
I want the money in my account ideally right away. So that's something to think about. People get their Amazon accounts. That's a problem when you get your Kindle account terminated or your Amazon affiliate account terminated. They owe you money typically that they don't pay you. Whereas like, if you get your Shopify payments canned or whatever, or your Google Ads account suspended or something, the money is in your account. So, you don't have to worry about like clawing back of earnings or not getting paid what you've invested to put into it.
Yeah. So
let's get right to David's question. We'll go back up because I feel like he's actually a new viewer probably.
Yeah, I don't care.
So if you're starting out, where would you start? Niche sites? No, I would do high ticket drop shipping. So, and then I don't know how much you know about niche sites or content sites. Let's say you make a high ticket drop shipping store about, say you're selling like, let's say like you have a cabin site and you're selling like, I don't know, what would you sell on a cabin site?
Dutch ovens.
You're selling like a $1,000 Dutch oven on your cabin site. You would sell that stuff with a real supplier. So you would become an authorized dealer for a real supplier in the United States or wherever country you live. Put it on your website, your Shopify store, advertise it via Google Shopping, advertise it via text ads, and then augment that with your SEO strategy, your niche site strategy later. So you start adding the info articles, you start adding the best Dutch oven for log cabin articles. And then those articles are going to get you a much higher ROI and be much, much more likely to rank and perform over the long run. So,
yep, for sure. We're going back now. Mubashir said hello. Kenneth. Hello, Kenneth. Mubashir, I should have never quit high ticket dropshipping a few years ago. Hey ho, my new store is launching in a couple of weeks. This time I won't quit. And yeah, I mean, really another important point is like say you have a niche site and the niche site is doing well, whatever that means, and then it gets hit with an update and the earnings drop 50%, 60%. It's like you're really faced with the question of what do you do? Because do you keep throwing money in knowing that the same thing can happen again and again versus high ticket dropshipping? It's like if you can just keep at it and do things in a way where we say this all the time, you're taking bets that you can afford to lose. If you stick with it long enough, you'll achieve some sort of consistency, whether that's $20,000 revenue a month, $40,000 revenue a month. And the likelihood that that's going to get somehow clawed back or hit with an update or your traffic's going to drop, 50% like intentionally or unintentionally through like an update or something. Very, very unrealistic. So the more effort you put in, the more likely it is to pay off. Again, versus a niche site, you can put in a lot of effort over time. It can do well for a certain amount of time, and then boom, not doing well. So the compound effect is the point.
And more importantly, if you know how to be profitable with high ticket dropshipping, you can be profitable on another store within a very, very, very short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only business model. So say we were to throw up another store, say we decided, you know what, this Monday we're deleting everything. The channel's gone. We're deleting all our content sites. We could have a new dropshipping store up and running within the next 2 to 3 weeks and most likely profitable if it came down to that. What do you think? What do you think? Theoretically, Mike, say that was a realistic scenario. We wake up tomorrow, everything's deleted. We have our computers and we have our current knowledge of today. What would we do? What could we do?
You're saying for making a store?
Well, I think we would make a store.
Yeah.
We have to get the income flowing again. We can't make a core.
Yeah.
We can't make build assets online. Everything we have is gone. I think we'd have to make a store.
Yeah, for sure. I thought you were asking how long it would take to do something like that. And yeah, I mean, there's really nothing quicker, I think, that can get you to consistent sales.
I think we could be profitable in probably 2 to 3 weeks.
I mean, we did it last time with very little knowledge. First time we ever did this. So
yeah, I'm just saying now we would do it even better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just don't see anything quicker. I mean, there's the land stuff, which is good, but that has a long turnaround time, more investment. Yeah. Let me see here.
Kenneth had a good question.
Let's just go in order. Nigel said 164.97. I think Nigel is a big Kindle man. So when I was talking the Kindle revenue, I think that's what he was at.
Oh, wow.
What are you at now, Nigel? Tell us. Anders Anderson said, hello, I'm currently in the process of building my store, but I'm unsure about what to do with product images before I have any suppliers. Can I use the suppliers' images? No, don't do that.
This is the only time I'll tell you, go on AliExpress, go on Alibaba, find some cool related products, put them on your homepage.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, do not put a supplier's images on your website and then call them to try and like make them, be a supplier for you, because they're not gonna like that. Matt said, how are you currently attributing sales or any progress to SEO, if at all?
I mean, it's really hard to do it with analytics because I've had a discussion with the GA4 team and they can't do it. But so, I just like looking on all the sales through the day and seeing like I was saying this morning, we got a sale from like a Versus article,
Well, Joe, it was a Versus article. I don't know if you saw this. It was one product versus another. They bought both products.
I didn't notice that actually.
That's hilarious. They couldn't decide.
I didn't notice that. But yeah, so I mean, I just kind of look, right now I'm more focused on, I'm just putting the next couple months into really trying to rank higher for some, short tail collection stuff, updating some pages, but I just like checking the sales every day, looking at the conversion details. And then that's usually, you see where they landed organically and then how they made a sale. And you see if they came in first through a Google ad, because usually tagged with like a UTM code or whatever. But I mean, I don't even think it's 100% accurate, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
At that report. So
yeah. And I mean, I don't know. It goes back to this. It's like if you can get super granular with your attribution, at the end of the day, your total sessions going up, your total sales going up. And that's really all that matters.
Yeah, I think honestly with our store, once I make a lot of these internal tweaks that I'm doing now, I think we're very close to a point where, besides for updating stuff every now and again, it's not going to make, I don't think there's going to be any more like easy SEO wins to get that aren't going to be really costly. So, and one of the, go ahead.
I was going to say, besides like expansion of suppliers.
Yes.
Potentially.
Yes. But, you can use and that's not to say, like, at that point, then you can make more types of sites, drop shipping stores. You can make affiliate sites, but they have to be very, very low effort, low money invested, and high chance of return. So that's what it comes down to. And we are actually, I don't want to speak too much on it, but we did try another business model recently, that involves both Google ads and SEO. It's a local type business model. And, it's going all right.
Speaking of the devil, we just got an email. It's continuing to work. So, I mean, that'll be a separate video, but yeah. But again, it goes back to what I was saying. If your business cannot run profitably with paid traffic, then it's not a real business.
Yeah. You need a combination of both. And we're going to, I think there's going to be more we're going to do in the future where we talk about some other ways to leverage both, but still none of them are going to beat high ticket dropshipping in terms of an asset that you could sell and money into your account as fast as possible.
Danielle, can you do a course only on Google ads? I really can't. You can go on Udemy and get something way better than I can ever do if you just want to learn like basic Google ads. What we do is specific Google ads instructions tailored towards a particular business model. So,
well, Mike, that's
really what I'm good at.
That's not true, because your Google ad skills have come through on all sorts of business models.
All sorts? I mean,
you helped a student recently sort out their account or put them on the path that's totally different business. We have the other thing, the local business thing that you were doing, that
that stuff is related. It's definitely tangential towards what we already do, and I'm not an expert at it by any means. So, I mean, doing Google ads for high ticket dropshipping, I would say I'm quite good at it. Other stuff, I mean, yeah, it's just not like, here's how you set up your account. And like, I feel like with Google ads, you need a specific direction and you need a specific strategy. So that's kind of where we come in.
So I would say you're a strategic expert and not like in the weeds of.
Yeah, because there's so much different stuff you can get into with Google ads that I really don't get too deep into, because it just doesn't matter. And it's like, right, we've proven we don't need that to get results.
And I think it goes back to, talking about this thing about niche sites and blogging. 99% of what people are talking about doesn't matter towards getting more money in your bank account. Everything I see on Twitter doesn't matter in terms of getting more money in your bank account.
Yeah, it's like, okay, if you bought a course on SEO, what would that even mean? Because the SEO strategy is going to be totally different based on the business model and the monetization method.
Absolutely. Yeah, the strategy
So
is so dependent on what it is you're doing.
that's why it's like the business model itself, the monetization method itself, has to be super solid before you're doing SEO, before you're doing ads. Otherwise, I mean, I could do Google ads for shoes or some stupid low ticket product, and I probably wouldn't do that well at it because it's not structured in a way that's going to make it easy for us to win. If I only have $10, $20 to get a conversion, it's going to be difficult versus having $200, $300 to get a conversion because our margins are so high.
You know what's interesting? I think we've talked about this before, but if you go to, I'll actually just share my screen real quick. I'll switch the screens.
Okay.
One sec.
Matt said, yeah, over time you can increase sales and ROAS, but hard to attribute sales to SEO, even though it for sure is important to build. Yeah, I mean, you could see your traffic going up in total, and you could see, like, okay, in Google Ads, how many clicks does it say you got? So there's it's not like you can measure it, like there's 0% chance you can measure it. I mean, you can measure it, it's just going to have a degree of inaccuracy.
Well, yeah, I would also say that in our sales dashboard, I mean, I see sales from organic pages where they could have only landed there organically, like very regularly.
Yeah.
I look at the pages, like I look at when people buy, like I'll go to an order and I'll click view conversion details. And if I know they landed on best X for Y post or a X versus or whatever, it says like from an organic search on Google, whatever,
Yeah.
So that's not perfectly attributable, especially if they search for the brand. If they search for brand plus product, can you really count that as an and then they land on the product organically? Can
or
you
they search your store name.
Yeah, or they search your store name plus exactly. That's what I meant by brand.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, can you really attribute that to your SEO efforts? Probably not, but you do.
We were showing our parents like one of the websites we were making, and I told our mom what the website was, and she searched it in Google with the .com attached to it, but it was like a Google search, and she's like, "Oh, which one is it?" And I'm like looking through the results. I'm like, "How are we number one for this term?" And it was because she added the .com that it actually made us, number one. But yeah, exactly. So like when you add the brand name, right, like that wasn't organic search, or like the store name, it wasn't organic search, but they probably wouldn't have known about you if it wasn't for them clicking on a paid search. So yeah. What are we looking at here, Joe? We got pencils.
Oh, so we're talking about strategy, and if you think about the strategy of advertising for a pencil on Google Ads, you see Webster on store, they're selling this Dixon Ticonderoga for $2.99.
Webster.
Is there any way on earth that they're profitable with this ad?
On the front end, I mean, absolutely not.
Okay, so again, it comes back to your strategy. If you're a big website like Webster on store, and you have a certain budget allocated to make sales that aren't profitable, just to build like your customer list or something, and maybe you're doing this because you want to get investors, or for some reason you want a bigger customer, maybe to sell more stuff in the future to them, I would say it's not a strategy that I would use as someone trying to make money from home. But I'm just trying to show you that there's many different types of ways to use Google Ads, and our goal is to use them profitably for our purposes.
Yeah, like that is Webster probably believes that a percentage of people buying Dixon Ticonderoga friggin' pencils are business owners, and if they get onto their list or whatever, and then they're getting emails, there's a certain chance that they'll come back and buy and have this level of order value. So that's how they're playing the game. And who knows if that's right? Because it could just be they got a boatload of money from their investors. They're in the boardroom talking about they want to build the email list, and this is the strategy that they've come up with to do that. So by no means can you assume that this is a profitable venture for them. You have no idea what any of these other companies are doing. And you see people come on Google Ads, they're here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah. And it's, you know what? It's really interesting because I feel like Google themselves, I mean, I don't know if this is a good move on their part, but I feel like they've designed it to be like, designed it to make it easy to come in to spend your money. But I would say for most people, like if you're just a regular business owner, you get a Google thing in the mail, like, hey, I'm going to set up my Google Ads account. I would say without years of training and you're not training, but like years of experience and like doing what we do, you're going to have a very, very, very uphill battle to figuring out if you should do it for your business and making it profitable. It's going to be very, very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. Your business needs to have a high margin in order for you to have a good chance of success doing Google Ads. But Joe, I never realized this. Look at this Wikipedia entry here. Pencil, from Old French, pincil. From Latin, penicillius, a little tail. See penis.
Wow.
Penicillius is Latin. So pencil means penis.
Wow.
Is I think what this is saying.
I feel like that was like kind of like a joke in like middle school or something. Like, hey, you want to borrow my pencil? But maybe, you know, maybe it wasn't too far off.
Pen 15.
What? Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah. Where are we here? Okay. Ketamine. Is it worth investing in SEO in some blog post from the beginning, just after launching high ticket e-com store?
It's not going to hurt. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean by investing? I mean, it depends.
I think he means for his high ticket e-com store. Should he invest in some blog posts?
I know what the question is, but I'm saying investing can mean you spend $500 for expert writers, or you get Koala Writer to write it for like 50 cents. So if you're going to do the latter, then, you know, knock your socks off. If you're going to do the former, then don't do it.
Yeah. So the quick answer is, yeah, it's worth it if you do it cheaply. Does your course teach us that, or can you recommend one? I mean, if it's concerning high ticket dropshipping, yes, our course does teach that. You can go to buildassetsonline.com/enroll and see exactly kind of what it is that we do, people. So, yeah, I mean, this is the whole point, is that we've spent all this time and effort doing so many different business models online, so many different monetization methods, traffic methods. And it really all comes back to the fact that when you combine having high margins, having paid traffic, and having an asset that you can sell, meaning the store is cash flowing and people are actually willing to buy the store from you, it makes it a lot harder to lose because you're constantly compounding. If you're paying for traffic, the traffic's going to be more steady, it's going to be more reliable, it's going to be more likely to be profitable because you have high margins, and because it's profitable over the long term, then you're building an asset that you can sell. So if you're not doing this, it's just going to be harder to have, you know, the best results over time. Anders. Hey guys. Wait, didn't we talk about this? We answered your question, Andrew. Porta Deals. If I would have a lot of products in my store, is there a chance that I will have some sales from Google for shopping free listings? And does good SEO help with that? So I don't know if SEO isn't going to help with the Google shopping free listings, but I mean, theoretically, you can get sales from the Google shopping free listings for sure. Again, I don't know how reliable it is.
How do those work exactly, Mike? I mean, everyone talks about them. Like, do we use them? How does they work?
I mean, our products, I guess, are hooked up to them. I really don't know how it works, to be honest, because it was something that was unveiled like kind of in the middle of us doing what we were doing.
Mhm.
But I think it just comes down to the fact that, again, if you're not paying for your traffic, then you don't have control over your traffic. And so it's just going to not be consistent. So if you put up a bunch of products and they were on the free listings and then you just let them sit for however long, yeah, I mean, sure, you can make sales. For example, I think, like how Joe was mentioning, one of our stores keeps getting copied. And what they do is they're copying and then they're marking the products down like a ridiculous amount. So I think they're showing up on the free listings like as a really good price. And so they're scamming people like that. They're definitely not running paid traffic to it, but yet they're getting sales. So can you get sales from free listings? Sure. Is that a reason to not do paid Google shopping? No, it's not a good reason to do that. You have to master paying for traffic. Lackey said, this is off topic AF, but I'm having difficulty with dopamine addiction because of my own actions, and it's taking a hit on the e-com store. Has anyone dealt with it before and combated it?
Oh, geez. I mean, I want to give like not a sarcastic answer or something. I feel like I can't really deal with a topic of that weight. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I would say you gotta like beat that first before trying to do something else.
Yeah. And I think just even something as simple as writing stuff down, like what you're going to do that day, the goals you're setting for yourself, etc., helps force you to do stuff versus trying to just run off of the motivation in your own mind. And so I think this is a problem people run into no matter, what stage they're at when they get into online business. I mean, there's going to be times where the dopamine isn't there. I don't care who you are. You have to find a way to get yourself to take action every day, despite how you feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say like, I mean, through the ups and downs of how you feel every day, just doing one thing and not even necessarily like caring about the result immediately over the long term is going to get you good results.
Yeah, I mean,
But
Lucky, I don't know.
I would say if you actually have like an addiction, I don't have any like a what is it called? Well, I don't know. Like by dopamine addiction, does he mean like prescription drugs or something? So I don't know if that's the case. Like I really don't know.
I mean, dopamine addiction can mean a lot of things, but
Yeah, I don't know exactly what he
people can
means.
be on friggin' TikTok and have a dopamine addiction because it's just constant boom, next thing, next thing, next thing. Even that type of thing is really bad for the type of mindset it takes to get good at online business. And so books like Deep Work by Cal Newport really get into this. I mean, I haven't read that in years, but it really gets into the idea that if you want to get really good at something, you have to shut everything out and just focus on the one thing, deep work, for an extended period of time. I mean, it could even be 20 minutes to start out. You have to train yourself to shut out all distractions and just work on something. No email checking, no phone, no social media. You say, hey, I'm going to build this website today. You put on everything on focus mode, whatever that takes, and you just work on it.
Yeah.
So,
and like right now, I got to do these mailers for our land business. And I asked Mike, I was like, why do you want me to do these? Like, if you're so, you're better at it, you understand the business more. But it's because like it's just there's so much resistance to doing it. And like I understand, like I gotta really I'm gonna do it after we hang up. I'm gonna shut everything down and just do that. And it's going to be just even thinking about getting started on that is like, it's not overwhelming, but it's like, a little bit, I got to work myself up to it. But, I think as long as I take the action and once I get started, it's going to be in a good direction.
Yeah. And then eventually you get into that flow state and then and then it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of the reason I have you do it is it gives me, it's easier to take action if I can just say, hey, do this.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, I think just from a business standpoint, I have a lot more distractions, like in terms of, managing the stores. Things are happening on a minute by minute basis. And even in the land business, people are calling in and I got to deal with them. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Nigel, 170.75. This was 22 minutes ago, Nigel. What are we at now? He's going way up on this stream. Our boy Joel D is back. He said Google search will die with AI. Ranking AI search is the next big thing. What the hell was that?
Just one of those flies. They're after my melon.
What do you think of this, Joe? I don't even know what to say to this. Ranking AI search. Like,
is he talking about like ranking?
Like Bard?
No, I think he means like ranking in the Google answer.
Like
Google
ranking
AI
in the AI. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like no one really knows how the AI chat, like the automatic Google AI SGE search generative experience is going to pan out. I know there's like a test mode out right now, which I've played with, and they're actually rolling it out to the public soon. But I don't know. I still feel like the general population isn't gonna like it, and I feel like they're not gonna do if it even decreases their revenue a little bit. I feel like they're just gonna go back to a previous iteration of Google without the AI thing. I don't know. No one really knows, but I feel like the only people that care about AI are people like us. I feel like I don't know what if our parents see the AI result, they think they're gonna be enthralled by it, or what do you think?
It would just have to be something so seamless they wouldn't even realize that it's happening.
Yeah, but I think people are so conditioned to seeing the text links, the blue links. So I don't know.
Yeah. I can't say how it's going to go. And again, it has to come down to paid traffic, especially with Google. I mean, that's their main source of income.
Yeah.
It's not even close. So,
I mean, it's like if you worship a god and the god demands certain sacrifices, and in this case, Google demands money to show your website, are you gonna displease them?
that's
I mean, it's a bit exaggerated, but think about it. They are the gods of the internet in a way.
Yeah.
And certain sacrifices must be made to keep in their good graces.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of an analogy of what the SEO people are that are just trying to, leech off of Google's powers. But I mean, I take it to be you have a big city and the people with the, the storefronts are those paying to play. And then the SEO people are the bums.
Yeah, they're
out on the street drumming, trying to,
yeah,
just leech off of.
They got their hand out.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe the police will let them be out there for a little while, maybe years, but eventually, your tax dollars got to pay for something. I don't know. This is getting too far off the rails here, but
anyway, Nigel, $174 now. Bow Lifestyle. Oh, I think okay. I know who Nigel is. Got back a land deal in the mail. Buy for 24, sell for 72. Nigel is taking it easy.
I mean, I wonder how many of you little Bow minions are out there just got your Kindle graphs on refresh, got your Shopify sales cha-chinging all day. You know, how many of you are out there? I don't even know.
Yeah. Mark Walsh, does your course cover how to do Google ads from start to finish and tweaks to make them profitable? I would say our course, when it comes to high ticket dropshipping Google ads, is the most in-depth when it comes to actual strategy, how to implement it, how to troubleshoot it when it's going wrong, and how to scale it. Because there's never truly a finish unless you get to the point where you don't want to build this, like you don't want to scale the store anymore. But yeah, I mean, this is a huge portion of dropshipping because again, if it doesn't work with paid traffic, it's not the best business model. And so everything we do, it has the basis of paid traffic. So yeah, it does. Go to buildassetsonline.com and you can see more of that type of thing. David said, so is niche choice the most important, even if possible upcoming recession? I mean, listen, recession or not, people are still going to be buying goods. There's still going to be people that have enough money that they don't care that there's a recession. And even in like people that are affected by a recession, they need to replace products in their house. They need to buy things. So it's not like the GDP is going to go to zero in a recession. A recession just means the GDP is not going up. Maybe it declines a couple percentage points.
Yeah, and so I want to say that like niche selection with high ticket dropshipping is not really the same as niche selection for a niche site, because this guy was asking about niche sites. Yeah. When you're doing paid Google ads, it gives you the option to instantly target like so many more things, like an infinite number of things than you would if you were to make a niche site. So for example, say you have a website and it sells computer chairs. And Mike, you let me know if this is a bad example or not. So you have a website that sells computer chairs. And then you have a collection that's like gaming chairs for fat people, or like heavyweight gaming chairs or something. Or even better, you have a brand, say Acme heavyweight gaming chairs. So you have a brand, you have something describing the product, and you have the product itself. You can instantly throw up a text ad to that collection and get people going to that that page within basically 24 hours. So it's possible that that text ad will be profitable because you might be the only one serving up such a relevant collection page for that query. Whereas with a niche site, you gotta make the page, and you gotta wait, and you gotta have your relevancy signals and your backlinks and your trust signals. So, it could be next year where if the page was a good, worthwhile investment. But here you have the products, you throw up the page, you turn on the ads. Is it going to be profitable for those queries? It may be. But, you might have another situation where you're just advertising for gaming chairs, and everyone and their mother has a gaming chairs collection, and it's not specific enough, and it's not going to be profitable. So.
Yeah. And I mean, also there's Google shopping ads that kind of take a product and then instantly rank it for thousands of different keywords. So like what we're just looking at with the pencils, that was Google shopping. So you can have products on your own site that are doing the same thing. So what happens is Google takes the product and it just figures out what to show it for. Some keywords are better than others, of course, but the point Joe is making is that you're taking a product, you're taking kind of a niche that you've picked, and within 24 hours, you're getting feedback on whether that product is good, whether that supplier is good, whether that niche is good. And if that niche is not good, then you should have your store built out in a way that you're not just stuck within one niche. And this is a lot of what we go into. This is, you can look at our previous episodes and, learn more about our specific approach to like niche selection and website creation and stuff like that. Even in the last episode we did, I think we went over this a lot. So Litmo Health said, off topic, I already have a Shoptimize license. This is not the best looking theme. However, with some landing page plugins, it's possible to make it better. I wonder if it is worth investing $350 in some better theme like Empire, especially in terms of increasing chances to get suppliers and sales, or better spend this money on ads and change the theme later. I only have about 2K to start. So from this, I'm making the assumption that you don't have suppliers, or maybe you have very few and you don't have sales. If this is the case, just use Shoptimized. We've made plenty of money off Shoptimized. And that was the theme that we used on multiple stores for years. So it's not going to stop you from getting sales. And then from there, yeah, make some money, and then you can go ahead and change your theme. Gates said, I'm late. Should I just delete my niche site and go general? I have no suppliers yet, so it wouldn't be too bad.
I don't know how to answer that question.
I think
I don't know what
thinks we're talking about like a niche dropshipping site.
Oh, yeah, that's not
we're
really
talking about. Yeah.
No, I think you just got to go back and watch. We're talking about like a blog niche site for this stream, because in the recent Google update, site owners are getting slammed. So
yes, sir. Yeah, just go back and watch the stream. Andrews, we answered your question already. Use AliExpress. Don't use suppliers. Images. Just yeah. So I think we got to wrap this up, Joe. Almost an hour and 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
Many cantaloupes have been decimated in the making of this stream. But I think it was a good one, Joe. I think I'm going to take this video and I'm going to run some paid traffic to it and get it in front of the SEO crowd.
They're not going to like it because they don't want to accept reality. And it's hard. I understand. Like when you're 3-4 years deep into a niche site and then the traffic just goes like this, it's a tough reality to face, but maybe this will be waking people up in terms of how they spend their time and invest their money in their attempts to try to make money on the internet.
I mean, listen, if you're listening to this and you've made money through doing niche sites and SEO, that's a great thing. You've made money online and you've done it in a way where you have, maybe this is your full-time income. All you have to do is just reconsider how you're monetizing. It's not that you never can work on your sites again. It's just you probably would be better off focusing. You can even transition the sites you have towards a better monetization method, or start a high ticket dropshipping store that's based off of the principles we just talked about, and then use that as your quote unquote niche site and start building traffic and organic rankings on that. And it's going to have a lot more of a reliable payoff over time. And you're going to have multiple traffic sources. So you're going to get a higher valuation when you go to sell the website.
I could just add one thing there, Mike. One of our top students who we have an interview with, you can go watch with Granger. There's an interview with him on our channel. He started with a niche site that got hit like last year, and it got hit hard. Yeah. And he basically transitioned that to a high ticket dropshipping. He leveraged like the existing traffic that it was getting, turned that into a high ticket dropshipping store. And I mean, let's just say he hasn't looked back. So he saw the light, and I think some of you some others out there will as well.
Yeah, listen, Matt, a longtime BAL student, he's on the plane right now. He's jet setting. Holy cow. He's Matt's taking a trip. He's taking it easy. And so you guys got to do the same. Go to buildassetsonline.com/enroll. Take a trip over there. You can take it or leave it. But as always, take it easy.